Welcome guys, welcome to my tutorial. Today we're gonna teach you how to build on Roblox Studio. So let's start the tutorial. First, you wanna open Roblox Studio. You'll be brought to this loading studio screen here, and then you're gonna have okay. You won't for if it's your first time, you're probably gonna have some place called your username place. We don't want to do that though. Instead, we want to go to new experience here. You open up a new base plate. Wait for it to load. And now we're here, right? So to move it's WASD. If you want to move your camera, just hold right click. And then, yeah, you just kind of combine the controls. E to go up, Q to go down. See that? Okay, now let's start with building. But first, once you go to home here, you make sure you're there. There are four buttons here: Explorer, yeah. Okay. Alright. Explorer, properties, toolbox, and assets. For starters, we're just gonna use the Explorer and properties. It will probably be on the right side for you, but I put it on the left side because I can just drag this anywhere I want it to be. But for the sake of this tutorial, I'm putting it on the right side of my screen. So first, there is a part button here. If you hover your mouse over this, it will show you the details. Create a new part. So if you click this, you will see the part here. If it's highlighted blue, it means you're selecting it. Now, there's about 5, 6 buttons here if you're including geometry, but we're only ever going to use 4 of these. Okay? And we're going to use select, move, scale, rotate. Transform is just a mix, alright? So select is, my my studio is bugging. Give you a moment. Oh, am I crashing? Wow. Wow, that's great. Wow, thanks. Alright, anyways, we're gonna go back. Okay, that's a minor issue. Just don't mind that. Yeah. I'm gonna open up a new base play again because I don't know, my studio crashed. Okay, we don't need a toolbox. We don't need a toolbox, okay? I mean, if you want to place stuff down, yeah, you can. Alright, so go to part. Yeah? Oh, if you want to know how I did that, I just press F. Okay? So, we have 4 right here. We have select, which is, select any part and then, like, drag them around if you hold click it. Now, move is a bit more specific. You can move it left and right, up and down, and back and forward. Right? Control Z to undo what you've done. And then now we move on to scale. Now for scale, it's the same thing as move, but instead it stretches out the object. Okay? Like that. And yeah, Control Z to redo that. And then now, um, if we were to make this a group, so we go to Explorer here and we make this group as a model, you will see that this will actually just scale really weirdly because it's treating it as one big whole object. The reason why is because if we can't just, if we do this, we can scale this entire thing. See that? Okay, now we're going to move on to rotate. Right? This is a bit more simpler, but it's going to be a bit complex. So if you were to drag this, you can see the degree of which you're rotating at. You will start off at 0. Lines here represent every 90 degrees. So every time you move 90 degrees, you will hit a big line here, right? This is the most definite way to rotate it, but there's an easier way. If you were to select it, hold this down, and press R, you can rotate it. Or you can press T and you can rotate it up and down. So you can kind of just mix the whole thing, right? Okay, now moving on to our properties tab. This is gonna be a bit hard to explain, but yeah. But if you want to use a simpler way, is using this. So we can don't worry, this is still important, but we're gonna use this section. So it's about material, color, group, lock, and anchor, right? group and lock. Lock is the least important here, but you probably will need to use it if you're trying to be organized. So first off, we have the material. So clicking this material, you will see that there's a lot of materials, and hovering over it will give you a preview of what the material look like. So let's say I want to use corroded metal. I would just click that, and you see it will change. And if I add another part, and then this time I click it, it will also just set that. But if you want to change it, this is automatic, but if you want to change it, you click this drop down arrow. You see that? And it will show you the list again. And it will set that material. And that, and that, right? So now that we're done with material, oh yeah, if you want to set it back to normal, you can control Z, or you can search for materials, plastic. There's two type of plastics, smooth plastic and plastic. The basic one I would use is just plastic, alright? You can see there's like a little crumb there. But if you change this to smooth plastic, it becomes more smooth, of course. Yeah. Alright, now moving on to colors. This is gonna be more fun. So click on the color, it won't do anything because there's no color set. So if you go to the drop down arrow here, oh sorry, wrong one. If you go to the drop down arrow here, you will see a list full of colors. These are preset by Roblox, but if you want to make your own colors, um I'll move that. That will be soon, right? So clicking on the color here, let's say I want to use orange because I love orange. Now, it won't set anything yet. That's because you've only set the automatic color to this. So clicking this will set the part color to that. And you can also change the material. So use plastic, smooth plastic. Yeah, you get the point. So you get to mix them both, right? This group button just does what I did. It just groups it. And then you can like that. I just control Z that so it turns into a part again. Yeah, like that. Control Z again. Alright, you get the point, right? So, one thing that's really important is if you were to place this high, okay, now I'm going to test the game. So to test the game, you have to go up to the top left and you will see here drop down arrow. And you have like four options: test, test here, and run. Only these three are important. The fourth one is not so important you wanna if you wanna play solo, right? So testing the game here, you will be loading to experience and you will see that the part will drop. You can go up here, click the smooth part, and then drag it up. Okay, it will anchor itself. I'm not sure why it does that. It's not meant to anchor. Okay, never mind. It doesn't anchor. Whatever. So the reason why this happens is because your part is not anchored, right? So to do this, you can go here and you can click this anchor button right here. Okay, and you can do the same thing for models. So let's say I have two parts here that are anchored, right? They will just drop, right? So you can just select a whole model and click anchor. So of course, I'm not going to use two parts for this example because I'm lazy and I think one part is easier. So another important tip about building is there is this thing. Okay, do you know about grid layouts? You know, you're on a it's like a like Bloxburg, like there's a grid on like how many studs you can move, right? I can only move like one square. You see that? I can only move one square. What if I want to change this? It's like, why not instead of going one stud, I can go half a stud. So to do that, you have to go up here next to geometric and click this one stud. This is your movement and this is your rotation. So yeah, if I change this to 0.5, you will see that I can move it 0.5 studs, right? And for rotation, this is 5 angles, yeah, 5 degrees per turn, right? So, but if I want to change this to 10, I can change it to 10, but it will be bigger now and it will be much easier to, move it easily. But if you're going for hyper-sized builds, I recommend 0.2 or 0.1 because they give you more movement freedom and it makes you more, how do I say? It gives you more details basically. I don't use, you can also change it to 0 by pressing the check. See the check here? Check up here means, yeah, there's no movement. It's just like it's like really really hard to control, but it is quite good if you really want to be like fully randomized. Or you see like rotation here, I can move this however I like. So yeah, we're done with that. Okay, yeah. So just make sure you anchor this. Now, moving on to the properties tab. Okay, so this is basically just a detailed layout of what this part is. So it's more like a details thing. Yeah, properties are details of the part that you're editing. You have to select it first, of course, because if I just select this, it's gonna show me details of this part. I don't want that. I want to change this part. So, brick color, yeah, you see this. It's kind of in the name. Cast shadow. Cast shadow is kind of important, but you understand what it does. It just cancels out the shadow, so it doesn't project a shadow on it. And then color. This is really important for building, right? So, this is a more precise way of handling colors because I can change the hue, I can change the saturation, and I can change the brightness depending if I go up and down, right? So these are your hex codes. These values don't really matter. You don't need to worry about that. This one, you can set the custom colors. So if I do this and I pick that, yeah, you see, it's more of a preset. So if you want to ever have like a color scheme, but Roblox doesn't have it, you can add it here yourself, okay? Or you can also just use this, but I don't use that. So now, moving on, we have materials. Course, you won't get a preview of what they look like. You kind of just have to go through it all, right? So now transparency. Reflectance is just it's just this. It's not important. Don't worry about it. But transparency, this is quite important. So at 0, it's you can see it, of course. But the more I go up, the more invisible it gets. And somewhere around 0.75 and 0.7 does the shadow start to disappear. Yeah. And then now these properties, transformation, just like I don't know how to explain it, but X, Y, and Z. This is your Z. You see, Z, yeah, whatever. So it moves from 8 because I'm changing the blue side, which is 8. Y is your green. X is your width or something, depending on how you want to see it as. So now, can collide. This is quite important. So let's say I have a wall right here, correct? And I'll set this to true first. So if can collide is true, I'm placing the game, I can't go through it, right? So I'll stop the game here. If I set the can collide to false, this will happen. I can face through it, I can jump through it. Um, do not unanchor it and can't collide because then it will just fall through the map. See, it's gone because it fell through the map already. Like it unanchored, fell to the ground, faced to it, and now it's gone. So yeah, that is the basics of tutorial today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. There's a bit of an extra here, but I'm gonna end it here because some people don't really want to get into it. But let's say you wanna, okay, I'll go to my website here first. Let's say you want to go, okay, I can't show this part, whatever. That's that. So let's say what the fuck? Okay, let's say you wanna have these stud materials, right? Uh, see these? You wanna have these. You wanna replicate that feeling, right? There is a way to do this. So if we go to toolbox here, and then you were to start up type studs in the toolbox here, you will see that they provide a lot. They have the old stud texture here, right? And then you can have materials. Okay, you see these circle things, they say materials. These are really important. They are the most easiest way to change materials. So let's say you have let's say you have this stud texture, right? And you wanna add this material to this list, you wanna add the studs to this mix. So what you have to do is I just check the through box. I'll see these. I'll click it and I will get a list of these, right? So this can be a bit hard to explain, but if you were to drag all these materials into material service, and then you were to check materials here, and then custom, you will see, or recent, you will see that you have all the stud materials, right? So yeah, that's how you do it. There is a plugin I use that changes this, however. It's called the Resurface. It's I don't use it though, because I think for beginners tutorial I'll just make it easy and understandable, so you guys get what's the point of this tutorial. Alright, anyways, now I'm gonna try building. Right, I'm gonna start building a nice little house, you know? Uh, Something like this, and like that. See, every tool comes into play because it helps you become more precise with your building, and I hope this tutorial helped. If it did, leave a thumbs up, like and subscribe, and yeah. Oh yeah, there is a shortcut if you want to duplicate objects. If you want to duplicate objects, just press Control and D. Or alternatively, you can do Control C, Control V. That's how you copy and paste it. All right. Thank you all for watching this tutorial. If you have anything more questions, leave them in the comments. Okay.